Hey guys, live again for today, which we are heading over to the Titanic water. Oh, look, bendy. It's the bendy bus, which they call the glider. Straight across. So yeah, anyway, we're heading off to the Titanic water today. Right now. If I show you, if you can see in the distance, try and zoom in for it. One of the cranes from Holland and Wolf. There's actually two identical ones. Inside. Where's he gone? Come on. Go, go, go. Do you want to go run over? He's back by there. Yeah, I'd hurry up if I was you. Go on, up over that bridge, huh? And that was the bridge when me and Daddy first come out, yeah? That's the bridge we were building. Yeah. I'll show you that, guys. This is that bridge there. First time I come out here back in 2015. This little bridge back here, this bridge here, going across, that's the one they were first building when I first came out here. The second time I came here, it was all built and done. So it's easier now to get across the river. Much easier. So yeah, we're heading off now to the Titanic water, and I'll show you where the legendary ship was built, was launched, and then I'll show you also the dry dock where she sat while they had to fix Olympic, which was her sister ship, and some of the cranes that were also still there. Well, some of them anyway. Not a lot of stuff remains. Look. Yeah, so that's where we're heading right now. We're heading, and my mother's just gone. Said bye, have a great time. So yeah, that's where we're heading off today. Hey Marco. Good, tired, but there's a lot to see today. This is why I'm live. I'll show you now where Holland and Wolf built their legendary ships and where they launched them, and then where they headed off and to their destinations for service. I know I need sleep, dude, but in Ireland, when I come to Ireland, especially this part of Ireland, I tend not to sleep as much because there's a lot to see. It's a hell of a walk, though. That's where we're heading, over that way, all over that way. And this is where you get to see where Holland and Wolf built their legendary ships. Like obviously the trio, the three sisters, which would have been Titanic, Olympic and Brittanic. And obviously nomadic, tender ships as well, which would have been nomadic, traffic. But nomadic and traffic headed off to France and Paris, where they would then serve the Olympic class liners of 1912. It's just a long walk. Go away. There we go. And as you can see, my dad's slowly trying to catch up. There it is, look at that. My mum was just sat down at the end of the bridge waiting for us. Okay, well, Island is a nice place to come. You are? Yeah, no, she's left us. When I was a quarter away across the bridge, she was nearly at the end. When I was a quarter away over, she was almost at the end. That way. Along this walkway now. Yeah, this is where now the Titanic trail will start. And this is what they call the key, the Queen's Key. Where do you go in? This way, ma'am.
No, she can go down there.
No. No, she's turning around now. Come on. No, I said down this way. Right. I'll show you a bit of map. I wonder if it's on the other side. Ah, there we are, guys. Now look. There's some of that on Titanic quarter seat. This is a lot of the riding up. Right, let's head off anyway. On the Titanic trail now to where she was once, to where she was built, launched, and then left Island for the first and last time. So, yeah, but there was 3 ships altogether of the Olympic class liners. Obviously, the first to be built and launched was the Olympic, which survived from 1912 to 1935. So then she was sent off. She was sold off for scrap, and then obviously she was stripped down. A lot of the interior was kept and sold on. One of her, I think it was a smoking room or the first class lounge, a lot of the wood from that was kept. They kept that, sold it on, and now it's in a famous building somewhere in England, I believe, where they've actually put it all back together as an actual room where the pillars, all the walls, ceilings. The grand staircase, unfortunately, on the Olympic was cut up and then sold on. One of my subscriptions, someone that I follow on YouTube a lot, which is Spammels, he's got a lot of original photographs, blueprints, well, not, I wouldn't say blueprints, but some sort of designs for these sort of ships, which he's actually bought and kept for himself. So yeah, we're just going under a bridge now. All the cars are going above us, and this player, right, I'll show you this now. That place there was where Top Gear was filmed back 3 years ago, before all that malarkey with Clarkson started. So yeah, we're heading, should be another 10 minutes getting there anyway. It's one hell of a walk. One hell of a walk. But I tell you what, it is worth it. Definitely worth the walk. So, when we get round to where Titanic is, I'll show a lot of the areas where she was built, where when the workers were building, a lot of people did die while building these gigantic ships. Whew. Getting tired now. But we must carry on. Now this water here, which leads right down to where Titanic would have been launched, is they've actually got the outlines of, well, yeah, on this specific ship, yeah. So I've got a lot of history. Well, I've done in secondary school. I learned all about the Titanic, the timeline, basically from when she was built to where she was launched, and then sent over to Southampton for a maiden voyage. And then this is where we learned, well, what I learned, that there was an actually Welshman on there. I don't know how many Welsh people were on there, but I know one crew member was Welsh, and he was given a hero award for trying to save as many survivors as possible. His name was Harold Lowe, and I think his house still stands, I believe up in North Wales somewhere. There's also a house in England somewhere. I can't remember exactly where. But history time, yeah, it's all right. This is one of the history lessons that you'd love to learn about. There was so much happening with the ships at the time. But now Harland and Wolff are still going to this day, but they only now repair ships and things like that. Oh, look, some more beer, some more history of Titanic water. This is what I love, these sort of things. It shows you building all the gantries and things like that. This was back in 1841, look. Created 1841. Moving on. When I first come out here in 2015, it's always been a dream of mine to visit where these ships were first built. And when I come out in 2015, I just can't believe it. I actually stood where Titanic stood while being built, launched, and hopefully if we can get round to it, I'll show the dry dock as well where she stood while repairs on Olympic were being taking place, when she had that incident with HMS Hawke, which, to be honest, when you look at it, you think, when you're looking down, you think, wow. Just round here now. Yeah, when you look at it, you think, wow. You think it's deep. But when you think, to be honest, dude, it depends. It depends on the type of steel that they use and how it was built. So, well, coming into my view is the Titanic Museum. What? Yeah, but there, look. That's where the museum is, look. And that's where she was built. Well, all three. I will give you a little sneak peek. I shouldn't really. But if you can see in the distance, a big, it's like a silvery building. There. That's where that museum stands, was where Olympic and Titanic were built. Well, it depends, dude, because there was a guy from Australia called Clive Palmer. He was going to rebuild it as, like, he wanted to keep it to the exact details of the original, but he wanted to put new features on it, but that's what I think what people didn't like. So obviously his project didn't go ahead. Come on then, let's go. And there's the two gigantic cranes. Oh, tiring. Very, very tiring. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that boat. Seems like it starts. No, believe it or not, dude, it's actually dry today, which is what I was hoping for, so we could actually visit this area. Don't dilly. Is Clem in the stream? Clem, if you're here, give a like. Oh, say don't dilly. He is. Yay! Hello, Clem. History time. History lesson from me. Nice like. Cheers for the likes. Right. As you can see, that over there, it seems far away, but it's not that far. It's just on camera. It does seem a long way. Hey Clem, don't dilly. Not as many boats in this little marina. I like that one over there, the wooden one. That one, there. Most probably, yeah. It's like a floating house. Just don't come out the back door though. You walk out the back door, you're in the water. No, walk the back door. That's what I should call it. Hey, 3 viewers now. Yay. Yeah, guys, like I said, we're off to the Titanic quarter. We're almost there. It's just a hell of a walk because we are pretty much, our hotel is all the way over that way. And we've had to walk all this way. She'd be fine. Yeah, I know. Drive for my mum. She gets to sit down all the way. Oh. Long, long way. So, what have you guys been up to today so far? Should have brought my selfie stick, to be honest. Would have been better. It's got a bit windy now. Oh, and that hotel there, that's where I stayed twice. So, nice hotel. Ah, cool. Hope all is good. There we are, we're coming up on another history thing. Look at that. And this, let's find out now. We got the Titanic Museum up here. Then you got these by here. This is where Titanic stood. This one here would have been Olympic. And as you can see, got the roundness of the stern of the ships. And then you've got the pointy front end where the bows would have sat. Right, we're heading further over now. We're not far there. Oh, I can see one of the tender ships already. Well, the only remaining tender ships that are left from the White Star Line. Oh, I got that way. There we go. Yeah, there's only one remaining tender ships, and even I've learnt of as well spammers, which they've managed to save one of nomadic lifeboats as well. The other unfortunately did end up getting used for firewood, which was a very bad shame, really, considering it would have been nice to have brought that back to its original home. Here we are, guys, look at this. This is like if you could buy these sort of things on like eBay, Amazon, things like that. It's like a model that you can get. You think, right, the size on that, that is big. And these like the propeller pieces for that, you'd snap those off on a plastic model, and then you'd place them then on the back of the ship. Here's the inside. Very big. Very, very big. I've always liked that. That's like a nice like monument sort of thing. Yeah, if you look back, guys, to last year's videos, just well over a year now. Back in April last year, it was from April 14th, 2017. If you look back on that stream, I actually done 106 year like video for well, we come over here for a gathering we did, and basically on 106 years, which would have been 11:40 p.m. I left my hotel room about 20 past 11. Come over here. I then done a video then for the 106 years. It's 107 years. No, what would it be? 2012. 2006 this year. So it would have been the 105th, sorry. 105 years. We're now coming up on the Titanic. Waiting for the RMS. Very windy. Very, very windy. And when we get back to the city centre, guys, what I'll show you as well is I'd say they like lampposts, but instead of lampposts, they've got like the names of all the ships that they built. Well, I think it was about 10 or 12 of them that they built, the main ones, and they've actually got like pictures then of the actual ship. They're not 100% big pictures, but you can see like sort of like the bridge and all that of the ships. Now, guys, come on, slow coaches. Now, these sort of people, these statues by here, I'm sure these represent some of the workers. And then you got, there we are, that would be one of the shipyard workers. I think he would as well. I think he was like the foreman. And then here we have the nomadic, which is the last tender ship of White Star Line. And if you kind of take a look as well, we got the sort of shape of the Titanic stern as well. So if you notice, it's got round, and it goes down. Then you got the propellers there. Then you got the rudder. But this poor ship, had a really bad life. after being retired from. Bit bumpy. Which way, ma'am? Which way are you going? Up around that way? Alright, no worries. I'm just doing a stream anyway for the guys. This ship, yeah, here was when it retired from tendering ships, like obviously like the Titanic, the Olympic. I don't know so much about Brittanic, but then she went on to tender the Queen Mary, Queen Elizabeth, and things like that. Well, other ships like that. But when she was retired, she was then kept in. Well, she was sent off to Paris then to be, and all. She was turned into a restaurant. Then after all that, she was sold off again to someone else, and then literally all these upper decks, the funnel, all the upper decks were all stripped out and literally gutted, and she was used as basically a rubbish bin. But then back in 2007, I think it was, she was then rebought back to Ireland, where her original home is and will always be. They brought her back and reinstalled all the decks to what she would have been back in 1912. She no longer obviously floats on water. She's just sat here now, so people then you can pay to go on board, and then you can learn then where like all the richest people from Titanic, like John Jacob Astor, all the millionaires back in 1912 would have then boarded this ship to be taken out then in Cherbourg, which is France. They would have gone on there, they would have been tendered out towards the Titanic end, and then she would have sat next to Titanic, and then they'd leave Nomadic for the last time and then board Titanic. Lovely little ship that. I'm glad part of history is back home where she belongs and where she will always be part of Titanic, Olympic, and those sort of Olympic class liners. She was one of the greatest. Believe it or not, she's the only surviving tender ship of that era, because the likes of Traffic, I think she was sunk. It was either France or Germany, somewhere around there, and no one's ever been down to it, so we don't know whatever happened to her. But Nomadic, she survived. Now she's back home where she'll always be. Right, we're coming up now on the drawing offices, which is that big red building there, which is now called the Titanic Hotel. That's where all the blueprints for the likes of Titanic, Olympic, Britannic, Oceanic, and all the White Star liners would have all been drawn up in that building there. But she was derelict for many years, and now they've actually renovated and turned it into a really beautiful hotel. Not been in it yet myself, because the last time I was out here they were still doing the renovations. But since I was last out, well, when I left last year, a couple of months later she was finally finished. And I've seen pictures inside, and I tell you what, it really looks really nice inside. So here we go. If you can see 3 bow sections. You've got 1, 2, and then round the side you've got the third. Can someone tell me what these 3 bows stand for? Let's see if any of you can guess. Come on, guys. Come on. Interact with the history lesson here. Let's see if you do know your history and what I've said so far. Come on. Come on guys, let's interact. I tell you what, this is a place. This is what, like I said, when I first came out here. This is where everyone does. So we've got the 3 bows. As you know, I will tell you. And we got the Titanic name there. I'm really surprised that they didn't put Olympics and Britannic's name there as well. It would have been nice. It would have been one of the best fitting tributes to all 3 ships. Right, we're going to walk up here now, and we've got the wee tram, wee legs. So here we have the Titanic water map. So there we are, here's the 2 cranes, which is Samson and Goliath. And then you got, see, if you look at that, Olympic slipway number 2, Titanic number 3. There was a 3rd one. There should have been a 3rd, because there would have been Britannic's one as well. There we are, the Aral gantries, where the big ships would have stood. The dry dock. There we are, look. Nomadic in service. I don't know what these 2 are though. Right, now we're going to cross over to the museum. Why are you people joining and then leaving? Oh, bless me. Go, go, go. Oh, bless me. Right. Look at the size of that. No one's come up with the why these have been built on the museum. So basically I'll tell you, each bow stands for the 3. Oh. Bless me. Right, each bow stands for the 3 ships, the 3 Olympic class liners. And you think, right, the workers would have been, some of them would have been standing underneath. I can't get any closer because there's water between me and there. But you think, when these ships were built, that's how high they would have been. They were massive. Oh, you two can go in and have a cup of tea if you want.
Well, might as well come with that.
Yeah. Right. Okay, went from 3 viewers now down to 1 again. So now we are heading to where these magnificent ships were built. There was a 3rd slipway. I'm surprised they didn't keep that one for Britannic. But anyway, let's go and see where they were built. And I think these lines by here represented the railway tracks that were done. That would bring, well, tram tracks actually they would have been, to bring workers down to the yard. Ooh, this wind. Oof. I don't mind a bit of wind. Right. So we're coming up now in the bow of Olympic. No? This would have been Titanic. So this is where they would have started. Right, there. And they just went right, see where those posts are, right all the way down there. That's where the bow, the stern section would have been. And the further you go down, the wider they become. Marco, I think you're really interested in this, aren't you? All the others have said, nah, they're not listening to this. And over there, then, that's where you can't see the outlines yet. But I tell you what, in the night, guys, these lines do actually light up. I tell you what, it looks really nice. This bit here, then, where's it? Am I on the right path? No, it would have been, sorry, wrong line. And then this one by here, if you can see it. This would have been the outline for Olympic. We'll move on now. I will show you a bit of a plan of what? Hold on a minute. Hold on, guys. Two seconds, guys. Wow. Here now.
And I'm going to get home.
Turn off for a bit. Yes. No, they still there. It's just because it's glass, you can't see them as well. From this would have been it by here. This is where she would have been built. It would have been from the top of there, right down to near the water's edge. And over that side would have been Olympic. What do you expect? The ship to be standing here? Ma'am, it's over 2 miles underwater. You can't. Go in for a cup of tea if you don't mind. And just show it. Oh, there we are, guys. There's another one. 1911. There she stands. While being built, all the workers. Now I'll go down the steps. And I'll show some of the original tram tracks and all that still remain. Not much of them remain though, as you can see. And this is where the trams or cranes would have run down these tracks along the side of the ships. Here we are. This is what I really like. There we are, right? There's all the names. I don't know what class. I don't know how they would have been set out. Yeah. I may not see them as well. There's one that. And you got these that. The list just keeps getting longer and longer. If you want, guys, when this video is actually finished, you'll be able to go back and pretty much pause to see what names. You'll be able to read the names then. And these are all the names of the 1,500 people who actually lost their lives. There. These were third class passengers. These were second class. Second class again. And then you got first class and first class. The third class there. Got more third class. All of them would have been third class. And those two there. There's over 1,500 people lost their lives. Right, when my parents right there a minute. And here she would have stood while being built. Stop and show this piece of steel, show how thick the steel plates would have been. Take a shortcut. What do you think? The size of that thickness. See? Really thick steel. That's where they would have the full ship. You've got more floor plans down there, like she would have set sail out there. Well, not sail, but launched out there, sent over to the dry dock. Well, if it did at wharf first, then the dry dock. Do you want to go in for a cup of tea?
Yeah.
Some brakes or clutches going. Oof. Ooh. That smell. That's where they would have stood, look. Brilliant ships. Wow! Yeah. Look at me. Brushed that this morning before I come out. You know, it's like a big mess. Just go in the warm for a bit. Whew. Oh, my favourite shops anyway. Oh my, look, I'm end up buying something. As usual. Tell you what, guys, if you would like to learn about these great ships and how they were built, how many workers, all the history of it, this is the place you want to be.
Yeah.
Just turn the camera on. This is good. Love being here. We got the bistro. See, bistro 401. which would have been Titanic number before being made. You got the escalator there. You got another one there. This museum is, I think, up better because you can see stars. Sort of thing. Big in here. Really, really big. And we got the penny press, look. I don't know what that bird is meant to be, but whatever. Yeah, look. It's one of the first class lounges, other lounge or smoking room. We got this. I don't know what this is. Oh, it's a book. Many different languages, see? Brilliant. And in there is the shop. So we get to buy loads of amazing stuff. There we go, guys. Should see you again. Bye.